Hello, my name's Matilda and I'm a wedding dressmaker and designer. I've been meaning to do this channel for a while, really as an excuse so I can make things that I want for my own wardrobe and not just make things for my work. So there won't be any wedding dress tutorials, I don't think, coming up anytime soon. But what you can expect is with each video I make, there'll be a sewing pattern to accompany it that you can download and print off at home so you can follow along. Today I'm going to be making a summer dress inspired by those lovely Reformation summer dresses we see year after year from them. I found a skirt in a charity shop that the print really reminded me of those dresses, and so I'm going to be upcycling that today. But of course you can use a bolt of fabric, that's no problem. I would recommend a nice linen or a cotton, or if you're going synthetic then a viscose would be good for this as well. The skirt I'm using is actually a viscose fabric. So what else to say? The skirt I'm using has a button stand, or buttons all the way down the front, the centre front. So I've incorporated this into the design of the dress as the back opening. However, if you wanted to use a zip, that's not a problem. You can absolutely do that. All you need to do is on the sewing pattern, remove the button stand and replace it with seam allowance down the centre back skirt and centre back top. Fabulous. Let's get into the video. The first thing to do when you're upcycling a garment is to deconstruct it, like I'm doing here. Also, take out any darts and give them a light pressing. Remember to save all the bits, including zips and buttons. I am now pinning my pattern pieces onto the fabric. Remember to add seam allowance to your pattern, as it isn't included. When pinning your fabric, remember to keep it on the straight grain, otherwise you could end up with a dress that hangs in a strange way. And be careful when cutting out so as not to move the fabric around too much. Okay, so once everything's cut out, mark the darts. I'm doing this using charcoal. Pin them together and sew them carefully. Then press lightly. The next thing you're going to do is to sew the side skirt seams together. And give them a press. Then, if you can, overlock the seams, otherwise you can use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. Take the bodice pieces and put them right sides together. Sew both the side seams and again press and overlock. You then need to overlock or zigzag stitch along the arm and back. This will then be turned over, pressed and carefully sewn down. Find the centre front of the bodice and mark about 4.5 to 5 centimetres down. Cut from the top to that marked point. You will then take the facing strip and first sew it right sides together around the slit, taking care around the corner. Bring the facing to the back and turn the edge under itself, carefully sewing it down. Fold over the top edge of the bodice seam allowance and press. Put the bodice to the side. Now make the gathering ties. This can be fiddly, but just be patient and gentle.
Another tear just burst from the side of your eye. And I know what you're saying, and I know it's a fucking lie. All this world, damn lie. All this pain.
Anchor down the end of the ties at the top of each armhole. Then, turn the top edge of the bodice to the back and encase the ties. When sewing the bodice edge down, be careful not to catch the ties. Pin the skirt and bodice together with the right sides facing each other. Then sew them together, press and overlock. For the back construction, turn over the button stand, press and sew it neatly down. Then lay the button stand so that The centre backs are on top of one another and pin. You will then need to sew along the top edge of the button stand from the bottom of the skirt up to where the back opening will be. Make sure you can get it on and off. Finally, give it a press.
All this love and all this pain, you bring me from another world. All this love and
You then need to press the hem down and carefully sew it.
all this love and all this pain.
Repeat the steps for making the ties to make the straps. Sew them into place. Take your buttons, place them onto your dress and mark their position. You will also need to mark the buttonhole positions as well. Use your buttonhole attachment on your sewing machine to make the buttonholes. Then take a seam ripper to open them up. You can then sew your buttons on. Finally, give it a press. And you're done. Making the dress. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you do decide to download the pattern and make the dress for yourselves, please remember to take a photo and send it to my Instagram. I'll link my Instagram down below, and yeah, hopefully see you for another project soon.